The story starts with a tamer named Rain. He possessed a natural bond with animals and could harness their power through contracts. Rain was a member of the hero's team and trusted with handling logistics. Although he acknowledged his limited combat skills, Rain held the belief that he and his teammates shared a strong connection. Sadly, his teammates did not share the same sentiment. On a fateful day, Rain's teammates, led by their heroic figure, unexpectedly ousted him from the group, believing his presence as a feeble tamer hindered their progress. At first, Rain dismissed it as a mere prank, but the sting of their hurtful words revealed their true intentions. The realization struck him hard. His supposed companions never truly regarded him as one. Filled with disappointment, Rain bid farewell to the team, embarking on a journey of uncertainty, unsure of his path ahead. However, fate had a different plan in store. As Rain wandered, a flock of children gathered around him, drawn to his warm and accepting nature. They, unlike the hero's team who looked down on ordinary folks, cherished Rain's willingness to engage and play with them. Determined to lift his spirits, Rain mustered his energy and immersed himself in joyful activities with the children. His innate abilities allowed him to command a hawk to gracefully soar through the sky, evoking wonder and awe in the young hearts, despite his temporary control over the untamed creature. Moved by the children's dreams, expressed with gleaming eyes, of becoming beast tamers like Rain and embarking on thrilling adventures worldwide, a newfound inspiration kindled within him. Rain made a firm decision to become an adventurer, undertaking quests to earn a living. Seeking guidance at the Adventurers Guild, he learned that he must undergo a test to formally join their ranks. The test entailed tracking and eliminating goblins, as well as gathering specific herbs. Employing his exceptional skill in animal manipulation, Rain embarked on the trial, directing his loyal animal companions to trace the elusive goblin's trail. Although goblins were classified as F-rank monsters, posing no great threat, Rain's combat prowess remained limited. Nonetheless, his dedication and perseverance paid off, as he gradually honed his skills through successive victories over the goblin adversaries. With newfound confidence, Rain prepared to gather the required herbs, when an unexpected girl's scream caught his attention, altering the course of his journey once more. With a sense of urgency, Rain dashes towards the source of the commotion, only to discover a fierce tiger-like monster known as a declare tiger attacking a cat girl. Armed with a dagger, Rain attempts to strike the deadly creature, but his weapon shatters upon contact with its impenetrable hide. The ferocious beast turns its attention towards Rain, singling him out as its new target. Urging the cat girl to escape, Rain watches in awe as she leaps into the air, delivering a powerful kick that vanquishes the killer tiger, all while being captivated by Rain's presence. Surprised by the unexpected display of strength from the seemingly innocent young girl, Rain's thoughts drift towards the existence of rare races possessing extraordinary power in the world, speculating that the cat girl may belong to one of these races. However, his musings are interrupted as the cat girl suddenly collapses, revealing her hunger pangs. Acting swiftly, Rain offers her all the food he has, and as they converse, he learns her name is Canade. Canade, a member of a dwindling and formidable race, expresses her weariness with the monotonous life in the mountains, which led her to embark on her travels. Rain's kindness impresses her, leaving a lasting impression. Intrigued by Rain's story, she bombards him with questions, learning that he was cast aside by his former team, which fuels her anger. Canade firmly believes that Rain is a good person and should not have endured such treatment. Rain, however, forces a smile and explains that his perceived weakness made him a burden to his teammates. Disagreeing with Rain's self-assessment, Canade reveals that she felt an unusual connection with him from their first encounter, a sensation only a select few can elicit. Furthermore, the rarity of individuals capable of connecting with her powerful race serves as evidence of Rain's untapped potential. Seeking to bolster Rain's confidence, Canade offers to form a contract with him. Moved by her proposition, Rain gently touches Canade's head, although he realizes the gesture may have been too abrupt. Surprisingly, Canade finds solace in his touch, cementing Rain's belief that forming a contract with her could be a promising endeavor. Thus, Rain agrees to Canade's proposal, initiating a magical array using his own blood. Through a unique blend of magical power, Rain and Canade become interconnected, solidifying their contract. Their intertwined hands bear the same symbol, a tangible proof of the deep bond between Rain and Canade. As Rain gazes upon Canade's radiant smile, he realizes he has found a truly dependable partner. With Canade's assistance, Rain successfully completes the test and officially registers as an adventurer at the guild. There, they encounter a man adorned with a scar who recognizes Canade's affiliation with a powerful race. Intrigued by Canade's abilities, the scarred man extends an invitation for her to join his team, only to be met with rejection. Undeterred, he challenges Rain to a duel, proclaiming that only the strong are worthy of Canade. Knowing that Canade often attracts unwanted attention and provocation, Rain evades this ploy and unexpectedly suggests an arm wrestling match with the scarred man. To everyone's astonishment, Rain effortlessly defeats his opponent within a mere second, even surprising himself. Canade proudly reveals that those who forge a contract with a powerful race gain superhuman strength. Now, Rain possesses physical prowess equal to that of Canade. Together, they eagerly anticipate embarking on extraordinary adventures, undertaking daunting tasks, and amassing a reputation that transcends the ordinary. However, due to Rain's current status as an F-rank adventurer, their available assignments are limited to gathering herbs. Suddenly, their attention is seized by a piercing scream resonating nearby. Without hesitation, they hasten towards the sound and come across a group of bandits, menacingly robbing an elderly man of his possessions and threatening his life. Instructing Kanade to protect the old man, Rain fearlessly charges forward alone to confront the bandits in battle. Having formed a contract with Rain, Kanade now abides by his commands. She worries that Rain may not yet be proficient in utilizing his newfound powers. To her surprise, Rain effortlessly defeats the bandits, displaying a heroic aura in battle. Observing his valor, Kanade's admiration for him deepens. After the skirmish, Rain advises the old man against venturing alone into the wilderness. The old man laments having previously hired adventurers who were defeated by the bandits and fled. He implores Rain to accompany him, anticipating an imminent retaliatory strike from the bandit organization. However, Rain disregards the old man's request. Instead, he devises a plan with Kanade to dismantle the bandit organization by enlisting the aid of animals. Rain leads them to the bandits' hideout, where hundreds of bandits lurk. Recognizing the challenge of facing such overwhelming numbers, Rain concocts a strategy. He gathers a swarm of toxin-carrying bees, intending to command them to assail the bandits. Simultaneously, Kanade is tasked with seeking assistance from the town's soldiers. As the bandits tire from battling the bees, Rain and the soldiers can easily subdue them. Rain astonishes Kanade by forming a contract with a vast number of bees, an ability typically beyond a tamer's reach. Kanade becomes further convinced that joining forces with Rain was the correct decision. Meanwhile, 3 individuals appear nearby, fleeing from danger. They turn out to be the adventurers who left the old man behind. The 2 girls are a magician and a priest from Rain's former hero team, while the brown-haired man is a hired beast tamer. The girls had undertaken the task to earn some extra money but did not anticipate encountering bandits. Blaming the tamer for neglecting his duty, they argue that he should have deployed animals to patrol the area beforehand and hinder the enemy during the battle. The brown-haired man indignantly asserts that their expectations are unreasonable since most tamers can only control one animal. The girls are taken aback when they realize that Rain, whom they had looked down upon, is an exceptional tamer. They feel a sense of embarrassment. To preserve their reputation, the girls forcefully silence the brown-haired man, suppressing any mention of the day's events. Meanwhile, Rain's plan unfolds successfully. The soldiers, eager to eliminate the bandits, capture them under Rain's guidance. Suddenly, several colossal lizards emerge from the depths of the cave. These C-ranked monsters were specially bred by the bandits to repel intruders. Rain instructs the soldiers to escort the bandits out of the cave, assuring them that he will handle the monsters. With Kanade by his side, Rain valiantly combats the creatures. After a fierce battle, they emerge victorious, unscathed. The soldiers, filled with admiration, cheer their names, granting Rain a sense of accomplishment through recognition. Acknowledging that his triumph was only possible with Kanade's assistance, Rain expresses his heartfelt gratitude to her. In response, Kanade rewards him with a sweet smile. The Adventurer Guild promotes Rain from level F to level E and grants him a bounty. Rain and Kanade celebrate their success with a hearty feast. However, as night falls, they discover that only one room remains available in the hotel. Rain suggests finding another hotel, but Kanade is captivated by the allure of the room and expresses her reluctance to wander outside after years of living in the wild. Lacking any objections, Rain acquiesces to her desire to stay, albeit with reservations about spending the entire night in the same room as a young man and girl. Consequently, Rain resolves to camp outdoors for the night. Simultaneously, Rain cautions Kanade to be wary of men. Kanade, feeling hurt, explains that she is not naive enough to trust anyone blindly. She doesn't mind staying with Rain because she has come to see him as a kind and honest adventurer during their shared experiences. Her words touch Rain, and he agrees to stay. However, in the next moment, he becomes speechless as Kanade shyly reminds him to turn around when she changes her clothes. Exhausted from their recent endeavors, Rain promptly falls asleep, amusing Kanade due to her feline nature. Having encountered many dubious individuals in the past, she had grown disheartened with the world. However, meeting Rain made her realize that kindness still exists. Rain treats her as an ordinary girl, and the time they spend together brings her immense happiness. Moved by Rain's previous ordeal of being cast aside by his team, Kanade resolves to aid him in becoming stronger in the days to come. Rain and Kanade share joyful moments together, often undertaking low-level quests that can be easily completed with Kanade's assistance. However, today brings a challenging task, an altercation on a bridge caused by a troublemaker. Engaging in duels with anyone who dares to pass until victory is achieved, the troublemaker obstructs the bridge, disrupting the flow of people. Only Rain and Kanade can take on this task. As Kanade has spent most of her life in the wild, walking on the bridge itself feels like a novel experience for her. Meanwhile, Rain ponders why the defeated passersby refuse to disclose the appearance of the troublemaker. Suddenly, a red dragon descends from the sky, transforming into a red-haired girl named Tanya amidst a puff of smoke. Tanya is the troublemaker responsible for attacking the passersby. In the dragon race, strength is revered, and when individuals reach the age of 15, they are required to venture out and undergo training. Being a young girl, Tanya is unsure where to find a formidable opponent, so she engages in duels with every passerby, hoping to encounter someone strong who can help her grow in battle. Now Tanya has set her sights on Rain and Canaid. Taking the initiative, Tanya unleashes a long-range fire-breathing skill, targeting Canaid's tail and causing it to burn. Enraged, Canaid taps into her hidden superfast fighting power. Rain joins forces with Canaid, but the sheer force of Tanya's attack sends them soaring through the sky. Fortunately, their strong bond allows them to evade Tanya's flames by stepping on each other's feet. Rain recognizes Tanya's strength after the skirmish and realizes that he can only overcome her with his taming skills. He requests Canaid's unwavering trust and asks her to buy him a few minutes. Tanya agrees without hesitation. While Rain conceals himself, Canaid and Tanya engage in a fierce battle once more. Canaid goes all out to keep Tanya occupied, ensuring that Rain remains unharmed for those crucial minutes. Following Rain's command, countless birds swoop down on Tanya. However, this level of attack proves ineffective against Tanya, who prepares to deliver a decisive blow to Rain. Unexpectedly, her legs suddenly give way, rendering her unable to move. It turns out that the birds possess a paralyzing effect, incapacitating Tanya without causing actual harm. Despite the dragon's formidable defense, Tanya cannot withstand the overwhelming number of paralyzing attacks. She has no choice but to admit defeat. Tanya had expected Rain to exploit her defeat, but instead, he simply requests that she refrains from attacking innocent passersby. Rain's radiant smile uplifts her spirits, marking their first genuine connection. Rain's kindness is evident as he returns to the Adventurers Guild, accompanied by Tanya. Tanya, being exuberant by nature, almost lets slip that she was the troublemaker on the bridge. Thankfully, Rain diligently covers for her, preventing her from being expelled from the town. During their conversation, Rain finally learns the reason why those who were defeated by Tanya refuse to reveal her identity. It's because they feel ashamed to have lost to a girl. This revelation allows Tanya to keep her true identity hidden. Tanya then proposes joining Rain's team, expressing her admiration for him as a powerful adventurer after he bested her. This makes Canaid quite jealous. Rain, on the other hand, is thrilled by the idea. Meeting one fighter from the strongest races is already fortunate, but encountering two after leaving his former team would be a waste of luck if he doesn't let Tanya join. Rain decides to initiate the ritual with Tanya. After a dazzling burst of light, their contract is sealed, symbolized by the appearance of the same symbol on Tanya's hand. She feels a deep connection with Rain, as if he possesses the luck of winning a lottery. Meanwhile, Rain's former companions are facing difficulties without him. They struggle with logistical issues during their adventures and nearly lose their lives in the forest. The leader of Rain's former team devises a plan to deceive Rain into helping them complete their current task, only to cast him aside afterward. In the ordinary people's fields, the slimes have caused significant damage, multiplying rapidly due to the lack of adventurers willing to clear them for low payment. Rain takes his two partners and embarks on the task of clearing the slimes, showcasing their teamwork and skills. Canaid prefers to avoid close combat with the slimes, while Tanya utilizes her fireball magic to eliminate them from a distance. This display of skill earns Canaid's admiration. Meanwhile, Rain demonstrates a new ability in this battle. He infuses a part of his soul into a bird, enabling him to control the bird's body and fly high in the sky to locate the gathering place of the slimes. Impressed by Rain's skill, Canaid and Tanya are amazed at how quickly they find the slimes. Tanya suggests that Rain try attacking the slimes with fireballs. Although Rain is a beast tamer rather than a magician, he can tap into the powerful magic of the dragon race through his contract with Tanya, who is a dragon girl. This fusion of dragon and cat clans grants Rain both magical prowess and physical strength. Once a weak individual, Rain has transformed into a formidable warrior. Under Tanya's guidance, Rain practices casting fireball magic at the slimes and gradually becomes more proficient in its use. Upon completing the commission, Rain receives a payment, which is promptly exchanged for food. He ponders the idea that perhaps the stronger someone is, the more they eat. Tanya and Canaid possess voracious appetites. Before Rain can even take a bite, the plates in front of the two girls are already piled high like a mountain. After satisfying their hunger, they engage in conversation, realizing that they have only known each other for a short time. Canaid and Tanya express their curiosity about Rain's life, and although Rain hesitates initially, he decides to share his story. Rain hails from a village where Tamers congregated, and he grew up following in their footsteps. He once had a happy family, but a tragic accident devastated his village and took the lives of his loved ones. Hearing this, the two girls feel deep sadness for Rain and are hesitant to ask further questions. However, Rain doesn't wish to keep them at a distance. He believes there are already too many secrets and barriers among companions, so he continues his story. When Rain was 12 years old, he ventured to a place far from the village to practice his beast-taming skills. Upon returning home that night, he discovered his village engulfed in flames. Monsters had attacked the village, and everyone had perished. Rain, the lone survivor, had to endure the hardships of an independent life, despite his young age. Afterward, Rain reunited with his former companions. Ariel, the hero, extended an invitation for Rain to join their adventure team. Rain accepted, driven by his determination to prevent a tragedy like the one that occurred in his village from happening again. However, upon joining, Rain quickly discovered that Ariel considered him little more than a servant assigned to menial tasks for the team. In this moment of disappointment, Kanade reaches out and holds Rain's hand. In that instant, Kanade finally realizes the reason behind Rain's fierce battles with monsters, his unwavering desire to avert another tragedy. Tanya also joins in, encouraging Rain, and both girls shower him with praise while simultaneously expressing their disdain for the areas that his adventure team must have neglected. These words of encouragement warm Rain's heart for the first time. He feels a glimmer of approval for his efforts. Following their conversation, the bond between the three deepens, enabling them to cooperate seamlessly in their next mission, the crusade against the half-orcs. However, there is a piece of bad news. Tanya, having achieved a few easy victories, becomes overconfident and ignores Rain's repeated warnings to exercise caution. As a consequence, an accident swiftly unfolds. Although the half-orcs possess relatively weak combat abilities, their basic intelligence allows them to feign death and set a trap for Tanya. Fortunately, her companions react swiftly, saving her from harm. However, Rain sustains injuries in the process. Overwhelmed by guilt, Tanya never fathomed that her actions would involve and harm her comrades when dealing with such low-level adversaries. While lost in thought on the bridge, Tanya encounters a young human girl. Observing Tanya's pale face, the girl assumes she was injured in battle. Touched by the kindness of the humans, an emotion she cherishes deeply, Tanya realizes the weight of her mistake in disregarding Rain's kindness due to her own overconfidence, resulting in Rain's injury. When Rain finds Tanya, the girl is consumed by guilt, unable to hold back her tears. Rain comforts her, emphasizing that her well-being is paramount. Kanade rushes out to embrace Tanya, creating a moment that fills the dragon with the magical power of friendship. Rain then leads the two girls to a nearby hotel, though it seems the owner may have ulterior motives in assisting Rain's romantic endeavors. With only one room remaining at the hotel, Rain finds himself without any alternative but to share the same room with the two girls. As they settle in for the night, Tanya struggles to fall asleep. Every time she thinks of Rain, her heart beats rapidly. The innocent girl begins to sense that she might be falling in love with Rain. She tries her best to restrain her emotions and avoid sleeping too close to him, but she can't help tucking him in with a smile of genuine happiness. After a rejuvenating night's sleep, they embark on their continued adventure journey. Tanya proposes that they purchase protective gear for Rain, considering that humans generally have a weaker physical constitution compared to other races. However, the pleasant atmosphere is abruptly interrupted by a group of unexpected visitors, Rain's former companions. Their party leader, named Ariel, is taken aback upon seeing Rain accompanied by two powerful allies. Unfortunately, he mistakenly perceives Rain as being subservient to the two girls. The revelation that Rain is, in fact, the master of Kanade and Tanya shocks the entire party. However, Ariel quickly recalls the purpose of his visit to Rain. His party has been facing considerable challenges while exploring the enchanted forest, constantly losing their way. In order to extend their exploration and ensure the availability of supplies, Ariel proposes that Rain rejoin the party to aid in animal control, forest exploration, and carrying provisions. Ariel and his companions display a shameless attitude as they ask for assistance but seem to approach it as if they are granting Rain a favor. Rain decisively declines their proposition, remaining firm in his convictions. It is at this point that the party unveils a significant secret. The forest conceals a valuable treasure known as the Shield of Truth, a vital weapon in the battle against the Demon King. Should the Demon King remain undefeated, the horde of monsters will launch an invasion upon the human realm. As I previously mentioned, Rain's hometown was ravaged by these very monsters, leading to the tragic demise of his family. Rain's heart aches at the mere thought of others enduring a similar calamity. After much contemplation, he finally decides to join Ariel's party, driven by his unwavering determination to protect innocent humans. Rather than expressing gratitude towards Rain, the party unjustly accuses him of wasting their precious time due to his prolonged hesitation. However, Tanya and Kanade can no longer bear witness to such unfair treatment. Stepping forward, they propose that the party offer an apology for their earlier dismissal of Rain. Tanya, with courage in her voice, implores the entire party to kneel before Rain. Despite lacking formidable strength, the party members possess an unwavering sense of self-worth. Ariel, filled with anger, sternly commands Rain to keep a vigilant eye on his two companions. The crude man, Ariel, sinks even lower by insinuating that Tanya and Kanade are mere objects for Rain's pleasure. He derides Rain for harboring affections for animals, only to be swiftly repelled by Rain's powerful punch. Ariels, unable to accept the fact that he has been taught a lesson by a supposedly weaker Tamer, leaves his companions in a state of shock. Rain firmly warns Ariels that anyone who dares to insult Kanade and Tanya will face the consequences of his wrath. As a result, Ariels decides to settle the matter through a battle between the two parties, in order to determine who is truly qualified to impart lessons upon the other. This brings an end to Part 1. For Part 2, don't forget to subscribe our channel, aniexplainer.